This story was sent to me by Coco 2005, and it is coming out of Illinois, where you have this man by the name of Steve Knutson, who was arrested 26 times for driving on a revoked license. And after 26 arrests, they finally give him some jail time of 6 years in jail. My thing is, how in the hell did y'all get him 26 times, and it took y'all 26 times to finally get this man off the street? Y'all knew he was driving with a revoked license. With something like that, it shouldn't take more than 2 times for something like that to happen. But 26? Y'all better be very lucky that this guy did not hit anybody while driving with this particular license. It's clear and evident that he's proven that he's a reckless driver just by driving with a license that was not valid. A suburban Chicago man who has spent decades getting arrested and convicted of driving on a revoked license was sentenced Monday to 6 years in prison after his 26th charge for the crime. They let this man get away 26 times. The Lake County State's Attorney Office, in a news release, that 62-year-old Steve Knutson of Round Lake Beach pled guilty and was taken into custody immediately. Spokesman for the state's attorney office and the Illinois Secretary of State office said they had never heard of anyone getting arrested and charged that many times for driving on a revoked license. A spokesman for the county state's attorney did not know if Knutson had ever been sentenced to prison following his previous convictions. Well, it's pretty obvious that he hasn't. If he spent decades doing this, and if he has, he could not have done more than a year in prison. I bet you this 6 years that he just got is probably the longest he's ever received. If it's not a record, it's right up there, said Dave Drucker, spokesman for Secretary of State Jesse White. This is a decision we like to see from the courts because it sends a message that getting behind the wheel of a car without a license is very serious. Knutson's most recent arrest came in March when he was stopped by Round Lake Beach police after witnesses reported that he had driven his pickup truck into a parked car. At the time of that arrest, he was driving on a license that had been revoked for life following a 2010 conviction for aggravated drunk driving. After he was issued a citation by police for driving on a revoked license, an investigation by attorneys with the village revealed a string of incidents in which he was arrested for exactly the same thing. 16 of those arrests came in Cook County, 4 came in Winnebago County, and 3 each in Kane and Lake counties. All but 2 of his arrests occurred between 1982 and 2004. Had he gone to trial, Knutson could have been sentenced up to 7 years in prison. But see, here's the thing, like I said, they let him get away with this so long. That's why I knew his arrest or his time spent in prison, if it was any other time before this one, could not have been that long. It couldn't have been. 26 times? This guy's just basically, at this point, he was just trolling them. And the thing is, the reason why he kept doing it is because they kept letting him get away with it. Like I've always said, when someone does something like this, they're going to keep on going and going and going until they can't stop. Until they're finally stopped, I should say. That's why I said, luckily, unlike other stories I've done before where people are repeat offenders, this guy, from what I'm gathering, he did not injure or harm anybody, but it did say he just ran into a parked vehicle, which hopefully nobody was in, which sounds like nobody was in the car at the time. But yeah, it's some bad shit crazy people out here, even on the low level. But I'm glad they finally got him, but they should have been gotten him years ago. Y'all let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you in the next one.